There are lots of great shade plants, but none are more versatile or colorful than the huchera, also known as coral bells, probably after these little bell-shaped flowers. Now this plant is generally grown for its foliage, using the color of its leaves to contrast with other plants in the garden. Now this purple one here is amethyst mist, and doesn't it look absolutely stunning up against this lemon coral sedum? And how great does the purple leaves look with the copper color of this autumn fern? So as I mentioned, this plant does a fantastic job of complementing other plants in the garden, but it can also be used to pull color from the rest of the garden. So for example, this little huchera caramel is doing a fantastic job complementing the amethyst mist, but it's mainly planted here to pull more of that copper color out of those autumn ferns. Now, what do you think of this pairing? We've got the Caramel Heuchera right next to some black mondo grass, next to a little blue hosta. Now that's a lot of color for the shade garden. Most coral bells bloom from spring into summer. Although they vary in size, most are generally 10 to 18 inches tall and about 12 to 30 inches wide. So the positives of this plant are many. The birds, butterflies, and bees all love this plant. It is not toxic to you or your pets. And although I grow this plant in a suburban garden and don't have to deal with deer, I have read that these are not one of their favorite meals. You can mix or match them to have a real splash of color in the shade garden, or you can be like me and use this little apple teeny to brighten up the corner of this shade garden. Let's put it in the ground. Hey guys, while I'm planting this plant, I just wanted to say a quick thank you for checking out the garden channel. If you happen to garden in zones 8, 9, or 10, or are a new gardener, then you should definitely consider subscribing and watching some of the other videos. Thanks again. This little apple teeny in the ground. I actually pulled this from a container planting that I had from last year, and just thought it looked great and kind of brighten up the corner of the shade garden. It's also doing a wonderful job of accentuating those hostas behind it, and that really light chartreuse color looks really cool up against this black mondo grass. All right, so there you have it. Next time somebody asks you what your favorite shade plant is, hopefully you'll be like me and say the huchera.